this is a panel on our cosplay group. We're the League of Extraordinary Appalachians. We're a little bit different than a lot of other cosplay groups. We want to do the charities and the children's hospitals, but we don't want to put you have to be specific type of cosplayer. Like, don't get me wrong, the 501st is great. What they do is amazing, but particularly their Star Wars and Star Wars theme, and they're also very extremely picky on your cosplays, and I really don't feel like in a group you should limit someone on if they participate or not by how good their cosplay is, because we all start out somewhere. I know that for a fact. Sometimes we can't make our cosplays, sometimes they're not absolutely perfect, but I think the point is more or less being the character, if you can connect with them on a level. And then another thing is that groups like the 501st are more like you have to be an adult, which I can understand because they want people to be more professional. However, there are certain teams that I've come across, like me and her, that want to do something, but there's no place for us. We do have adults in this group too, and we, voice everyone's opinions and stuff. We try to include everyone because we want everybody to feel like they have friends and family in cosplay. Because there is dark side of cosplay, and we've both been on the receiving end of that numerous times. And we want to tell you that you shouldn't have to go through that at all. You shouldn't have to go through cosplayers telling you you have to cosplay a certain way, or you have to look a certain way, or be a certain size to cosplay, because that's not what it's about. It's about if you can connect with the character you're becoming. Like I have been told on numerous occasions that the only way I'm going to be successful in cosplay is if I show off my body, and that's not really what I feel cosplay is about. I feel it should be about if I'm being a character. I shouldn't have to do a risky version of it for me to get anywhere. That shouldn't be the point. I do Lucy Hartfilia from Fairy Tale. I will be her tomorrow. I don't feel like I have to do the more riskier versions of her to be her. I can be whatever version I want to, and I'm still Lucy. It doesn't make a difference. Like, she does Poison Ivy. She does the version from the classic Batman Anime Series cartoon, and that's no less Poison Ivy than like the Arkham Asylum one that people do now. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with people that do riskier cosplays. It's just suddenly that becomes what everybody holds cosplay to, and that's not all that it is. So in this group, we want everybody to be included. We don't want to say you have to have this high standard, or you have to look this way or that way to be a character. We're not going to say if this character is skinny, you have to be skinny, and if this character is bigger, you have to be bigger. Because I've seen that in both ends. I'm not going to say you can't cosplay an African American character because you're white, and I'm not going to say that you can't cosplay a white character because you're African American. Because again, to me, in cosplay, that's not important. I don't feel like it's really important your size or your height or your race or anything when it comes to cosplay. It's about the character. Does that make sense to anyone? Like, and that goes for fursuiters too. They shouldn't be a specific type of fursuiter, because there are all different kinds of fursuiters. There are the ones that do the mystical creatures, and then there are the ones that do normal creatures like lion.
We have one of our guys here who's not full fursuit. We have,
He's not full fursuit yet.
Yeah.
He's getting there.
He's getting there.
No, I got this tail that is about the real line tail length of 3 feet.
See, he's getting there. I mean, so for us personally, we want new members but we don't want to stress, it's a particular specific cosplay group, because it's not. We include fursuiters, anime, cartoons, movies. We're the descendants today, so we're something that's really kid oriented today. Tomorrow we're Natsu and Lucy, which is a little bit different. We're going for anime, which is more adults are into than children. And we've done like shadow hunters before, which is definitely not something that kids relate to. And while we mainly do this for the kids because they like people in costume. They don't really care if they know them or not. I've had people run up to me as Clary from shadow hunters before, especially kids, and they like the wig and the runes, and I'm like, it's okay that you don't know who I am, because you just seem overly intrigued with the fact that I don't look like everybody else. And there are some cosplayers that'll kind of shove kids away because of that, because they're like, you don't know who I am, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say, I would recommend there are some things I would say to them, I'd wait till you're a little older, because of some of the content in it. But I'd be like, when you're a bit older, I would definitely recommend you try what this character is from, because I think you might like it. At South Carolina Comic Con this year, I went as Galadriel from Lord of the Rings. I had numerous little kids stop me because she was Cinderella, so they thought I was a pretty princess like her. And unfortunately, I was, in my mind, I was thinking, I hope you watch this when you're a bit older and you handle some of the stuff in that.
Singing job.
But, I didn't deny them photos or anything because I was just amused that they were amused. Like, I don't think that you should ever push a kid or a fan aside just because they may not know the character.
Well, like today you had a little foster kid that seen Evie and kept telling her mom and her foster mom, foster dad, I see Evie, and she said Evie's not here. Whenever they seen them in their pictures made, she's like, there's Mount Evie, and she is a little male running around.
I have probably, since I've been Mal, I think I've had photos with like about 7 or 8 Minnie Mouse. And they're amused by it too. And one thing I think that a lot of adult cosplayers and cosplay groups tend to overlook is that these kids are going to be the cosplayers of the next generation. So that how we treat them reacts to if cosplay continues to be as big as it is now. If they don't get a good reaction from other cosplayers, then when they're this young, they might think, well, if they're not inclusive now, they probably will be inclusive later, and then they might not cosplay. I always want to set a good example for kids because, I want to, in 20 years, see them cosplaying the same way I am now. In 20 years, I hope to plan still being a cosplayer, but I hope to see them cosplay. Does that make sense? With this group, I want to connect with the community because I know there's a lot of negativity in the cosplay community, and we wanted to kind of fix that. We wanted to say, hey, we're here. We want to give you helpful tips, and we want to be people that you can come to talk to about like the cosplay or something. Because we explain things sort of on a beginner level because we're still beginners. I made this whole jacket back here. I don't know what I was doing when I made it.
You need to hold it up.
I didn't. I threw it on a sewing machine and I went with it. I nearly threw the sewing machine out about 6 times during the process. I broke one of my needles, which really annoyed me, and I ran out of thread like twice.
You need to show
I
it.
broke a needle making this too.
Hold it up and show them, because it come from, what was it, a vest pattern?
I would gladly help someone make something like this,
That's
giving
really
them
good.
tips
Good.
from a beginner level. Like, I've talked to other cosplayers whenever I was making this, and they were explaining it on like an advanced level. I couldn't understand exactly how they were explaining it because I'm not advanced yet. I don't know how to read a pattern. I don't really know how to alter a pattern. I just I just went with it. So like now I have a few people that ask me how you do that, and I'm like, let me break down, you know, what I did because this is how I did it. And it's kind of from a sort of lame beginner's level, but I mean it works. And I do a lot of hand sewing too. All of this was hand sewn because I'm still new with a machine. And what I've got is her old sewing machine, so that wasn't helpful in the process either, because it didn't like all this vinyl and fake leather. But when it boils down to it, how it looks in the end, if you're happy with it, then that's all that really matters. It doesn't matter what material you're working with. There are a lot of bigger cosplayers that are like Warbler. I'm like, Warbler is a good thing, but there's EVA foam too, and you can use that just as much. It costs a little less, and it may take a little more crafting time, but it does look just as good.
Yep.
Example, her mirror, which is entirely out of EVA foam, and believe it or not, the shiny part was reflective duct tape. Because when you're in cosplay, you get creative.
Her box. Her box is just a wooden box.
Here is super glue and sparkle foam.
Open it up.
Nice. On a jewelry box.
The lace on hers is from actually when it was Halloween when you started thinking of
Halloween table runner, yes.
yeah, Halloween table runner because she didn't want the pretty little Mel's not
Yeah,
pretty little flowers. So I was like,
couldn't
would
find
this work?
anything Because all that has flowers, but Mal is the daughter on the list. She's about as far from girly and princessy as you can possibly get. So I substituted with this table runner, and it does okay, I think. I don't know.
It looks more like Mel.
A lot of one thing I want to mention is that you know, I feel like it's good to have friends in cosplay because then you have people you can connect with. You have somebody to talk to at a con or get excited to see at a con, and you have people that are, you know, there in the crowd if you're doing a cosplay contest, because it's important to have that, you know, someone out there. And it's hard to find friends in cosplay because I know some cosplayers can be pretty stuck up if you're not on their level. But when you find the right ones, they're going to be your friend.
Like Alex Burns.
Like Alex.
We met him in South Carolina and went to his panel and found out he actually helps with the costumes on Black Lightning. And he was excited to meet the girls. And the girls were like, well, we're excited to meet you. And then we found out, it's like, you didn't know? And she's like, no, I didn't know he was helping with Black Lightning.
Back it up a little bit here. No, about a few things. The first thing is about the whole cosplay and race and everything. I've actually experienced that first hands-on because someone told me I needed to show skin and to be skinnier to even be a cosplayer. And as a bigger girl, that is not exactly what you want to hear. It's not like we can all control our sizes. And that's from my wig. That's another reason why I wanted to do this group. Another reason is because I wanted to help kids. I have like a little bit of slight form of autism, and so knowing that, I want to make the little kids feel better about it. There was this one little girl that came up to me when I was Cinderella, and she actually wanted to hug and let me hold her and take a picture of me, and her mom said she never does that. She never lets anyone touch her, and she doesn't like strangers. If you can give them confidence, then maybe they'll grow up and they'll be cosplayer and they'll be confident. Alright, you can take it back now. I just wanted to words.
That's a good point. You wanna give them confidence. Even like if another cosplayer is being rude to you, instead of saying something harsh back, just kind of wish him luck and wish him the best and tell him I hope it does really good because you're killing them with kindness. You're showing them, you might stoop to the level of being this rude with me, but I'm not going to be that rude with you because I don't feel it's necessary. I like cosplay sharing groups on Facebook. It's a great way to connect with a lot of cosplayers. A problem is if the admins might be friends or we're leaning towards a cosplayer that doesn't like you or has found that they have a problem with them. Because then it kind of becomes a little unfair and they'll take their side over yours. I've been kicked out of 3 different Facebook sharing groups because numerous cosplayers that do not like me. And, I kind of had to sit there and think, well, I cut my losses, but I wish them the best in that, because there's no point in trying to fight it, because, if they get what they want, they're going to find out that they're not going to be happy with it, either way. And they might see one day that, they weren't happy with it, and it might change. We've had a lot of issues because in this group, when it first started, we didn't really have any rules in place. We're going to be seniors, so us being the admins, we don't really have a whole lot of time to devote to, stopping arguments. So when this group first started, we didn't exactly have any kind of rules in place, and it was kind of chaotic because we had several arguments on different subjects. So I kind of set in one of our main rules is we're a neutral group. We're not going to really do the whole discussions or displays of politics, religion, race, sexuality, because I don't have the time to break up every argument that comes into place. And I don't want it, because it actually affected several members leaving watching these arguments, because they're like, if this is the kind of arguments that's going to happen, I don't want it. And we've had several people that have had issues with that particular rule, but I've set it in place because you can free to message any of the other members privately about it. I just don't feel like I necessarily have to break up any fights and start because of that, because we have a lot of different people in there, and I'm not going to favor one religion or race or whatever over another, and I'm not going to, I don't have the time to deal with all the arguments. And personally, it's been a lot more calm once I put that rule into effect, because we have had other members will discuss it privately, but I haven't really had to take much of my time to break up any arguments in the group. And it's also there because I don't feel like it really matters that much in cosplay specifically.
Cosplay is supposed to be fun.
I feel, again, like I was saying earlier, I feel like it's more about the character than it is about politics or whatever. And the kids really don't care about the politics either or anything. They're just like, oh, that's a character. They don't really, they're not, and I mean, that's my point. I don't really feel like I should have to, decipher arguments like that, because if we're doing this for the right reasons, then it really shouldn't matter. And I lost my train of thought.
All the clapping and screaming.
Yeah, with the clapping and screaming, I lost my train of thought. But we're not gonna say you're not good enough because you bought your costume. Because I'm gonna be Lucy tomorrow, and technically speaking, I bought that. That was still in my prior to somewhat making my stuff phase, and I love it as much as anything that I've made, because it's still cosplay, it's still a character that I like.
Not everybody has the talent to make everything.
Not everybody has the talent.
Yeah, I do.
Or the patience. You have to have a lot of patience, and a lot of people just don't have the patience. I'm still learning to have patience with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sitting here, I'm going to make an entire Ahsoka costume for next year, including, I'm using what they call sock glove method, so that all when I'm having to paint is my face. But that's going to be a learning experience, and I'm going to need a lot of patience to do that, because it is going to take a lot of patience, and I'm going to have it, but I'll learn to get it.
I just don't have patience at all.
No, she really doesn't.
I got this, and I sewed this on, and it took like an hour, and by the time the hour was up, I was almost about ready to kill the sewing machine. Because every other sew, it knotted up, and then put it all into one bunch, and I was like, this is not the life for me. I actually buy a lot of my cosplays, or I piece them together. One of my favorite cosplays, Velma from Scooby-Doo, which I've been told I look like her a lot, which is interesting. I pieced it together from Goodwill. So I don't really see the whole point of how.
There's the thing, okay, one cosplayer friend, one friend in cosplay you're gonna have is such a girl. I'm not even joking about that. Goodwill is going to be the friend, because there are a lot of things that you can find in Goodwill that, believe it or not, might match a cosplay because it's from like a different era or something.
Yeah.
But it, stuff that you're not gonna find in the store, and if you find it online, it's gonna be way more expensive because it's special.
Goodwill is definitely my friend. I found my turtleneck for Velma there. I found almost all my pieces for my female lover doctor there, because it's there, and because they're older, sort of like an older style, you're gonna find it there for cheaper. When you go online, you're gonna find it for $100, and you're gonna think, what the heck?
I don't have that to spend out for that costume.
See, like, in this cosplay group, when we're helping our other cosplayers, because we have about 29 members so far, when we're helping our other members, we're not only answering from a beginner's perspective, we're also answering from a budgeted perspective, because we work all of our cosplay stuff on a budget. Because, and to be completely honest, we are drive-through cashiers at Arby's. So, we only make so much, and there's only so much that we can put in cosplay when we're balancing, the bill for this, which you'll never really see a cosplayer without one of these. The camera's always the favorite thing, all these other cosplayers, you need a camera. Because if you happen to bump into someone from your, like, the same fandom you're cosplaying from, so when we answer a question inside the group, or with someone that's not in the group, we're always answering from kind of a budgeted perspective, because we don't know what the person asking's budget is, but we know what ours is, and we know that, if anybody else is like us, they want to have it on the cheaper side, but still good.
Yeah, like my Hook jacket, it wasn't actually for Hook, it was a vampire, had red on it.
At Goodwill, yes.
At Goodwill. We took it down.
I reattached stuff too.
Yeah.
By hand, because that was prior to my sewing machine learning.
Took off the red. Keep it from being vampirish.
Also, this is a little off topic, but back to drive-thru. I'm an order taker. If any of you work with the public, I commend you, because I'm just an order taker, and every time I get their order successfully finished, they add something, or they tell me they meant the roast beef classic and not the beef and cheddar classic. You know, that's what they said. And the other day, I literally clocked out and I was like, I do not even care if I am a minute earlier or whatever. I'm like out of here, because there's a lot of stuff that happens when working with the public.
You see, like, events like today's, what should, like, if you're having a bad week at work, events like today should be something that gets you through it. Because, like, we've been short-staffed this week. So it's been a nightmare. But all I could think about was I make it through this week, I have AARC for 2 days. And it excited me and made me push through it because, I'm like, this is a local con and it's 2 days. I'm like, what, 20 minutes from here? Like, when a con is local, I definitely want to support it, especially if they're looking at growing. And then that becomes pretty cool because if you can support a con, they may see you as a cosplayer and they may see you as someone that's cool, and then they might be like, hey, do you want to do this or do you want to do that? Like, we've been asked to judge the kids in groups cosplay contest tomorrow. And we were like, well, we're still beginner cosplayers, but I mean, if you want us, we'll do it. I mean, we'll try our hardest. I mean, it's easier to judge kids in groups, so because, I wouldn't feel comfortable judging an expert, especially because I'm not very.
I don't even know how we're gonna do it tomorrow because I'm like, oh, each kid is so
Oh yeah, she's the one. Oh, this kid's so cute. Oh, this kid's so cute. They all win.
Even though that's not how it works in the costume contest.
That's not.
And their group was invited last week as guests to LinkedIn Comic Con, which was their 2nd year. So that was a big deal.
If you can support a local convention like this,
They'll remember.
as they continue to grow, and they're gonna see you as someone like, oh, they supported us. Maybe they can help us out a little bit. Because I mean, I don't know if anybody else is noticing, but it's not quite as crowded out there as like last year or the year before. That is because Raleigh SuperCon is happening this weekend, and I know quite a bit of cosplayers in Asheville that have completely ditched this for Raleigh SuperCon. Even though technically AARC had this weekend picked out about 4 months prior to Raleigh SuperCon. And it's just kind of like, I feel, I'm not saying they, specifically ditched or abandoned this con, but, I'm not entirely sure that seeing as how slow it is out there right now, if they don't get more people tomorrow, I don't know if they'll consider doing this for 2 days last year or not.
Because it was very busy last year.
It was very busy last year. You could, it was hard to hear yourself think, honestly. And out there, you can actually hear yourself talk and everything. I'm like, it's dead. There's nobody here. Where is everybody?
Last year I kept hearing people talk, and I'm like, are you talking to me? This year I'm hearing quiet so much to where, and I believe someone dropped something, and it scared the crap out of me. Because you could hear it because it's that quiet. This is like, I think
This is not
a box
normal.
that fell over. I jumped out of my skin, and they were like, nothing.
I mean, this is we went to South Carolina Comic Con. They had a bigger con, put a 3-day con on the same weekend as them this year as well.
You can tell a little bit difference.
When they had the date picked out prior to that one. But there was still a lot more people there than when it's here today. Because I don't think AARC is technically still at that level yet. But, it all I'm losing my place here, and I'm going on. My point is, I like supporting these local cons because I want to see them grow. Because I want to see a lot more people than what is out there. And there's normally probably always going to be a convention that's going to compete with it. You just have to prioritize between money and what's local and stuff, what you want to do, and which one you'd rather end up seeing continue to succeed. I know Raleigh SuperCon's a big thing. They've had a lot of people in attendance for quite a few years now. So, I don't worry about them continuing. Because I know even if they didn't have a good turnout this year, they'd still do it next year. But, I'm looking out there and I'm like, I hope they do this for 2 days next year. As they did this year, because this was a huge step. And, our cosplay group's always going to be at this con because this is one of our home conventions. This Asheville Comic Expo, which has not happened in 2 years.
That was our first Comic Con, right?
Yeah. because of they did have the Asheville Comic Expo in this building too, but the only problem with that was they could no longer afford this building in particular for that con. And then the Asheville Comic Con is another one of our main conventions that we go to because, you know, Asheville. And if I don't have to travel like 3 hours to get to a con, that would be great. Because I haven't actually traveled for a con more than 1 day. Due to wear jams and different things. But I've always heard like other cosplayers like you're always going to forget something. You're always going to. They're like, if you can go through a checklist and you're still going to leave something at home and you're not going to have it. So whenever I was like, they were like 2-day con this year, I was like, that's perfect. I get to go home. I get to fix my cosplays at home.
Still forgot something.
Go do it again, but I hopefully will not have a problem of forgetting something.
Oh, you did forget something.
Like, so, I mean,
Do you want to open up to questions?
but like, this con, I think it's amazing that like all of you are here because, you know, seeing as how dead it is out there, they probably really appreciate your support in this. You're silent.
We're going to open it up to questions now. If anyone has any questions.
Well,
It's a year and a half
we
old.
started it last January.
We started it last year, like you said, in January, and originally, before we officially started it, it was going to be, we based off a group for our panel last year at AARC, which was DC Heroes versus Villains. And we made a group from there, and we had more people come into it, and then it formed into the League of Extraordinary Appalachians.
And I mean, we don't have quite a bit of our original members, and again, you know, the fighting broke out because we didn't have any rules in place at the time. But that has been corrected. So now we pretty much have our steady base of members because, you know, I want everybody to feel comfortable. I don't want them to feel like, oh, there's this group and like everybody argues in it because, you know, the admins just let whatever happen happen. Because I kind of treat it like a job, you know what I mean? Like there's just some things that I don't feel really need to necessarily be discussed where everybody can argue about it. Because there's enough arguing outside of all of this anyway, without having to bring